Meanwhile, 2023 shaping up to be one of the best years for space exploration in history. Our next guest is working to discover alien life that could be right in our backyard, and the search for life beyond planet Earth should be taken more seriously in the scientific community and beyond. But if we were to ever make contact with extraterrestrials, what would come next? And who would make the call on how humankind responds? Joining me to discuss, Harvard University professor of science and best-selling author of Extraterrestrial, Dr. Avi Loeb is back. Welcome back, Dr. Loeb.
Thanks for having me.
So it's very interesting because there is a split in the scientific community as to whether or not it would be a good thing or a bad thing if we actually made contact with an extraterrestrial society. You are obviously using the Galileo project and training a lot of telescopes on our backyard, on what we see and what we know. So I'm assuming you're rather optimistic about what contact would be like.
Right, because we have our science and technology only for a century, and it's very likely that whoever reached us is much more developed than we are. So we will benefit from it because we could learn new things about science and technology. We can see gadgets that represent our future. And I don't feel any threat because if they wanted to destroy life on Earth, they would have done it a long time ago before we came to the current phase. So the way I see it is as a learning opportunity for us. And most likely we will meet artificial intelligence systems, gadgets, not biological creatures.
Mm-hmm. And, perhaps signals first, which you say should be received passively. So, let's say we did make contact and we did get some message before the arrival of an extraterrestrial species. Is there a scientific body that has protocols in place for how we would return communication in kind?
Well, I think it very much depends on what we find. If you have a visitor in your backyard, what you do depends on what you see. And it's better not to imagine what it might be like because it could be very surprising. So, for example, we could find space trash, equipment that is not functioning. So that obviously we will just analyze it, examine it, and that's what we are planning in an expedition to Papua New Guinea to scoop the ocean floor for fragments from a meteor that exploded there in 2014. There is no risk involved. We will just try to figure it out, see what it was. But then if it has some intelligence, if it's functioning, the question is, what information is it seeking? And I think the first thing to do is passively study it, learn more about it, try to see what it's doing, and then based on that, decide what to do. We don't have a protocol. There is no organization that represents humanity. But first thing to do is passively study what we find.
Do you want to be the guy in charge of deciding what we do if there is, in fact, an arrival?
I would be very interested in being involved. Now, if it's an intelligent, artificial intelligence system, then there would be a question of what the intent is. What is it trying to accomplish? And if it sends signals, what do they mean? Because we don't share their language. And that may require psychologists, linguists, more than physicists, in the sense that we're dealing with an intelligent system. Physicists are used to dealing with objects that are not thinking. And so in that sense, I would be delighted to be involved. But if we need to ever communicate with that gadget, I would let that task be handled by a woman, because a woman has a better communication skills.
That's right. And women's brains grow and change and we're able to multitask as we procreate. Dr. Avi Loeb, thank you so much. Always good to talk to you. Always fascinating.